I will officially welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Happy Tuesday. Today is our Tuesday edition of Design Watch, our webinar bringing you topics of most value to you and your business. If you don't know me, I'm Sandy Cavellis, president of ASID New Jersey chapter. Today we have with us, we welcome Corinne Ashkart, sales supervisor in the New York metro area from Lutron. I think many of us are familiar with Lutron products. I'm sure we've used and specified them in our projects, but today Corinne will be sharing with us the latest and greatest information and things that we will want to know in specifying as it relates to home automation. So at this time, I would like to turn it over to you. Welcome and thanks, and we're looking forward to seeing your presentation.
Thank you very much, Sandy. I appreciate the warm welcome and good afternoon, everyone. So I will quickly share my screen with you. And while that's popping up, tell you a little bit about myself. Just want to make sure my screen is visible. We're good? Wonderful. So just to let you know, just to tell you a little bit about myself, I am based here in New York. I've been with Lutron for about 6.5 years now. I used to run our experience center that's based in the D&D building, but now I'm in specification sales. So I call on architects and designers in New York and New Jersey and help on projects and specs, any kind of help they may need. So we'll jump into the presentation right in. So give me one quick moment. All right, so when Lutron, as Sandy has mentioned, you may already be familiar with our product as we're in many homes, many buildings, many restaurants, retail spaces where we control lights. We may offer automated shading control systems as well. So just to tell you a little bit about us, we were founded back in 1961. Founder of the company, Mr. Joel Spira, actually invented the first solid-state dimmer. So in New York City, where he was living, pretty much invented the rotary dimmer. Before that, they used to be more of the rheostat, the large dimming systems that were used in theatrical applications. So that rotary dimmer pretty much changed and revolutionized how dimming systems work in residences as well as other spaces. We are a privately held company based in Coopersburg, Pennsylvania, and we consider ourselves to be a technologically centered and people-driven company. We have products of ours that we sell in over 100 countries all throughout the world, and we pretty much offer, simple one-room solution or one dimmer or one switch to the ability to control a full lighting management system for an entire building. So the idea is when the dimmer was innovated, it could give you the possibility to change the mood of a space, right? We're thinking of an incandescent or an LED fixture that could be at 100% on versus, think of 20%. And with incandescent, especially when you dimmed the fixture, the warmer it got. So it was able to create a different feel. And in today's technology, with a lot of LEDs, we are able to achieve sort of a deviation of color temperature where we're able to go from a very cool to a very warm. So dimmers are able to switch the feel of a room, of an entire space, of a home, of a building, to create a different perspective as a whole. You may be familiar with some of these tiles that you see here. We offer switches and dimmers in different aesthetics, anything from a traditional to a transitional or a contemporary style dimmer, where we have our, for example, Maestro dimmer, which is a very popular one in the industry, as well as Diva, which a lot of people love. And Ariadne is one of our earlier dimmers as well, more traditional. And I would say we see more of Maestro and Diva dimmers on the larger scale. Graphic Tee is more of a contemporary modern look of a switch or a dimmer. While we have Skylark as well as Sonata, which is our newer version, which we released last year, which has an LED dimmer slide right at the top here. So as you can see, these are standalone dimmers or switches that we can offer. Now, with Lutron, as I mentioned, we can offer you, commercial systems as well as residential solutions. Anything from dimming, occupancy sensing, vacancy sensing from a commercial perspective, a receptacle control, and even having time clocks where we're able to have lights turn on and off at a certain time so that we're able to save energy. And we also provide shades, both manual and automated shades, both for commercial and for residential applications. We have the capability of offering sort of a touchless technology by combining our occupancy and vacancy sensors or time clock applications for certain commercial spaces, especially in today's world. And we have also the capability to have AV integration for be it a projector or an AV screen that you needed to use during a conference call. For residential, we offer, and again, anything from a switching to dimming, occupancy sensing, shades that can be manual and automated. So when I say automated, I also mean battery operated as well as low voltage shades. And then the lighting control systems, we offer different systems. It could be an entry-level simple system to a very large system, whether it's control an 8,000 square feet home with all the bells and whistles. And we'll go in depth to look at what these lighting control systems are. As well as handcrafted finishes. If you wanted to incorporate a beautiful metal finish or a glass finish on your keypad aesthetic, we are able to offer those. And through third-party HVAC and AV integration, we're able to control and provide you a full smart home solution so that you're able to control your lights, to control your shades, so that you're controlling the natural light that comes in and out, as well as music, HVAC, and other applications as well. When we're looking at the residential systems that Lutron offers, so here we're going to look at systems that are not standalone. So Lutron has 4 lighting control systems, which are called Caseta Wireless, RA2 Select, Radio RA2, and HomeWorks. And I would say Caseta Wireless, RA2 Select, and Radio RA2 are our wireless offering, and HomeWorks is our wired system. We'll understand, we'll take a look at that, what I mean by that. So different aesthetics, limitations, and options with each system. So let's look at Caseta. Caseta is, I would say, a solution for either a very small apartment or a very small studio or a smaller size residence, which is going to be like more have budget constraints. So you have the capability of pretty much replacing existing dimmers to have a wireless dimmer on the wall that you can control your lights or shades. And you can tie it in so that you're able to control from a smart device, or you're able to have settings so that your shades come up in the morning as a natural alarm. So it lets you schedule, it lets you set up schedules, and these could be very easy to programmable systems as well. So you have the capacity to have a maximum of 75 devices with Caseta. So when I mean what device, 1 dimmer is 1 device, 1 switch is 1 device, and 1 shade or a handheld remote control is considered as 1 device. So a little bit limited in that sense. It covers a 30-foot wireless range. And you're able to control shades as well from it, and temperature control as well. So anything smaller than about 1,000 square feet home, I'd say would be applicable. Ideal for retrofit, and little to no integration with Caseta. So super simple. And Caseta can be purchased in different applications, but we do also sell them through our dealership networks, so they can install all the components and program them for you. But it's also available on Amazon. You can also purchase it at Best Buy or even Home Depot. So simple solution that can give you the ability to control your lights and your shades, or just your lights in an easier fashion. Gives you comfort, gives you flexibility. You need to turn on the lights from your bedside. It's an easier access. That handheld remote can be right by your bedside. So super simple, low budget, and still able to create a wonderful, to give you a wonderful feature as far as like lighting control. Next one is RA2 Select. Ratu Select can handle up to 100 devices, and it actually incorporates our Maestro dimmer with it. Similar to Caseta, you're able to pretty much set scenes. So for example, let's say you're walking into your home, you want most of your lights turned on bright, you can have a button that says bright and all your lights are on to full. Or you may want to relax, and when you press the relax scene, maybe your music turns on and your shades close and your lights turn on at 30%. So everything is scheduled that every time you press relax, those buttons are, that button is sending a signal for all of those lights to dim or for the shades to close. Simple programming. With Ratu Select, we offer them in designer style only. And we have scene remote controls, which are our Picos, and Picos is our wireless control that we see right here. And these Picos can have custom engraving options for you, where you can name what you want, or you can name the buttons as how you'd want them to be, or we have standard engravings as well. I would say Ratu Select fits into a project that's for a home less than 3,000 square feet and more of a retrofit application. So still great solution. You can tie in shades, you can tie in HVAC and other third-party integrations such as a Sonos or Alexa or a Google control as well. Our third system, our Radio Ratu system, has the capability to handle up to 200 devices. And gives you more elevated keypad aesthetics. So here you see our C-Touch keypad, followed by our graphic T keypad. These are the two aesthetics that you can combine with a Radio Ratu system. So again, you have the ability to control a scene, so which means controlling different lights and maybe different shades all together, or you can just have it control a single zone control. So you walk into your bathroom, you can turn light on, light off with the ability to adjust the dimmer, or a pendant or a chandelier. So you can name what you want on these keypads, and they're all custom engraved for you. All the buttons are custom engraved. We do have designer and architectural style keypads for these. Usually common for homes that are less than 7,000 square feet. I'd say it's more common in homes from about 2,500 square feet to about 5. Anything that's over 5 or 6, I'd say, gets onto our homework system. So again, this is a retrofit solution. So all the systems we looked at today until now, Caseta, Ratu Select, and Radio Ratu, are what we call our wireless solutions. So when I mean wireless, we're actually using a proprietary network that we call Clear Connect. So it's the Lutron proprietary network. We're not necessarily working off of internet unless we want to control it from a smart device, but we are sending signal wirelessly from any Lutron device, be it a shade to a remote control or a Pico control to a dimmer. So we're sending wireless signals, which makes it pretty much you know, a very, very fast service. Once I press my button, that command is being sent and the lights is either, you know, immediately dimming or immediately turned off, and gives us more security as far as performance of how the Pico or the wireless signals perform. Next up, we will see HomeWorks. HomeWorks is our, I would say, luxury line, high-end lighting control system, which gives you the ability to pretty much do anything and everything when it comes to lighting control. So with HomeWorks, you don't really have limitations. We do HomeWorks in very, very large homes, very small homes as well, not necessarily only large. I mean, in New York City, a lot of apartments, a lot of high-end apartments, even, you know, one-bedroom apartments, we do see HomeWorks for the aesthetic elements and for the system capabilities being used. But with HomeWorks, we have elevated aesthetics, beautiful keypads where we can get them in either polymer finishes or metals, or even glass finish options. So more common for luxury or large homes. It's an advanced programming capability, and you can have a lot of conditional programming done. future-proofing some of the compatibility when it comes to newer technologies and newer fixtures or newer AV system that may be available in a couple of years. And also gives you a more simplistic aesthetic at the same time. We see homeworks being used in either gut renovation or new construction. That is where it's going to be most applicable. It's pretty difficult to do homeworks in a retrofit. We can still as a wireless application, but it's more commonly available for a new construction or gut renovation application. That's homeworks. And with homeworks, our latest addition when it comes to the keypads that can adorn beautiful walls are Palladium keypads. Palladium keypads are beautiful, they're very elegant, they can come in glass, polymer, as well as metal finish options, where it has a backlit applications, as you can see on the engraving. And actually the backlighting can adjust according to the ambient light that's available in a room. So if you have this keypad in a bedroom, as the ambient light is reduced or turns off, that backlight dims to the more comfortable level as well. So very elevated experience with a Palladium keypad. The buttons are also flush with the faceplate, so which makes it beautiful and more modern looking, and very ergonomic keypad as well. How can we control Lutron lighting control system? Yes, we can definitely control it from a keypad that's on the wall. But it's also important to know we can control them from smart devices, be it an iPhone or an Android phone, or even sometimes from iWatches. I see people, going right in there and changing the settings in their light levels or closing a shade. And of course, a voice control, having to say, Alexa, close my dining room shades, or Alexa, turn all the lights off. So we're seeing more and more of a voice control being incorporated in home systems where people are utilizing more voice control to adjust their shades or control the lights or adjust the temperature and so forth. So you have vast ways of controlling your lighting systems. And with these systems, when we're talking about scheduling, we're seeing people use, schedules as alarms for shades to come up in the morning. Kids' bedroom, we want the shades to come up 6:30 or 7 o'clock in the morning. They can automatically be set so you don't have to do anything. So given more flexibility is how you live in your space, how you control both your natural light as well as your artificial light that you have in your spaces. So with Lutron, we also manufacture, and we've been in the shading business for a very long time with automated shades. We manufacture different types of automated shades, as well as manual roller shades, but everything else is going to be automated. So we have roller shades, we have Venetian blind options, we have horizontal sheer blinds, Roman shades, drapery systems, tension shades, and honeycomb shades. A lot of different types of automated shades that you can incorporate in your residential or commercial project that you're working on. With soft treatments, we offer Roman shades, draperies, and vertical drapery tracks. Now, however, with the Romans and draperies, one thing I'd like to note is we offer them as COM. So they'll all be customer-owned material and material you'll pick for your clients. What we provide is basically the drapery track and motor for draperies, and we provide the Roman motor and kit to make the application. So we don't provide material for soft treatments. Now, we have also introduced, and some of you may already be familiar with this, but Palladium shades, part of our luxury collection to complement our Palladium keypad that we looked at earlier. Palladium shades are beautiful exposed shades. They come in different metal options and different finishes of metals. They can come up to 12 feet wide by 12 feet high, and they're fully exposed, but however, they're low voltage. So it's a precise installation of the shades that can make it very, very beautiful and exposed to complement some design aspects that you may have. So you can control them from a Pico remote, from a keypad, or you can have a time clock setting for your Palladium shades to come up and down, or you can even do voice control setups for Palladium. So beautiful, luxurious, handcrafted material with Palladium. We also do offer them in a brass finish and a darker polished finished as well. So about 7 different finish options for Palladium that we have. It's a beautiful aesthetic. Also, one thing to mention, Palladium or any of the other shades that we've talked about until now, you can just get the shade on its own, or it can be part of the system. So it can be sold independently to work on its own with a remote control or with a wall control, or it could be part of a system as a whole. I want you to know that. And then with Lutron, as far as like what companies we integrate with Amazon Alexa, Apple HomeKit, Savant, different Alarm.com, Honeywell, Mitsubishi, Daikin controls for HVAC, Sonos, and several others. So if you have any questions as to the integration aspect, we're happy to share with you what companies we do integrate. So you can get that full smart home solution by integrating other technologies that you want to integrate part of the system. Now let's move on for a quick overview of a conference room or a small office solution that Lutron offers. With Lutron for commercial applications, we offer anything, as I mentioned, from a dimmer to a full building system control. But we look at our office or conference room solution. We have Graphic Eye. Graphic Eye is basically a system that allows you to control lighting. You can tie in shade, automated shade into it, as well as encompass occupancy, vacancy sensors, AV integration, and the ability to have room partition adjustment with your fixtures should you rearrange the space. So with Graphic Eye, you have a simple solution that you're able to control your lights, your shades, your occupancy sensors, and so forth. We do also have other wireless systems that can be applicable for small office spaces, other than our standalone dimmers with occupancy sensing and controls that we may have. So in conclusion, for resources, I encourage you to visit our new website, which is lutron.luxury.com, to review some of our elevated aesthetics when it comes to Palladium and Homeworks and so forth. And of course, our main website, lutron.com. And for lutronfabrics.com, you have the ability to review the numerous offerings we have when it comes to roller shade fabrics, honeycomb fabrics, and our wooden blinds. So very easy, resourceful link to see the images. And should you need, of course, any sampling or anything like that when it comes to working on your projects, I would encourage you to contact me. My email is, I'll actually provide that in a second. So it's on my first slide, but I encourage you to contact me, and I'm always happy to help on your projects as it pertains to, qualifying the right system that works for your project, specification questions, if you need any cut sheets or anything like that, or you need assistance with a showroom tour, hopefully when we're back up and running, I hope sooner than later. But thank you so much. I sincerely appreciate everyone's time, and I hope everyone is doing well, and please feel free to contact me. I will share my contact in the chat box. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was great. That was very informative. I'm so glad that there are people out there like you who understand these systems. It seems like there's so many options now, which is great, but it also, I think the more options, the more complicated. So I guess my first question to you would be, how does one start? How does one approach this? Do you approach it from, if I'm the designer, I'm working with a client, do I approach it from asking them what are the benefits that they'd like to achieve? Do we start on a cost basis? Do we start on a square footage basis? How do you recommend kind of figuring out which direction?
Right. I think the smartest thing is once we have figured out that the client is interested in maybe doing a smart home system and incorporating, even it could be a small system, right? Once we have that going, it will be contingent upon what they're looking to do and what the budget calls for. And that's where honestly, like my assistance comes in, because I can sit down with you with your plans, and once we've discussed like what budget they want to work with, easily identify the system that best suits it. Because sometimes I'll get calls where maybe they don't want to do a system for the entire home. Maybe it's part of their residence. So depending on the scope of the project, we can figure out what works best for the project. And really that boils down to working with either myself or my counterparts. We have a specification team here in New York. Also, what really helps is, of course, an actual showroom tour, which usually makes things easy, because if you come in with your clients, you get a tour, you can kind of understand where to go. But with this, during this difficult time we're in, we are going to be offering more virtual meetings. And at some capacity, when our Lutron New York Center Experience Center is going to be open, we will be filming it so that it's capable of a virtual tour, so that we're able to meet with you and your clients on a virtual capacity, chat about the different systems, see what works best. And part of it is also personal preference, right? Especially when it comes to the aesthetics. I will tell you, there are so many times where people are set on a Radio Raw 2 system, maybe they're building a home, but they thought they were price constrained and they wanted to do a wireless system. And then they come in and they see the Palladium keypad, and they're like, no, I want to do Palladium. So it shifts everything, right? And so if the budget is available, we'll move on to a homework system, because with Palladium, you do get an elevated experience and elevated aesthetic as well.
Okay, all right, good to know. So great, so we did actually have some other questions that came in, if I may. From Terry, can you talk about lighting for circadian rhythm? Okay, cool question, Terry.
So lighting, okay, so one thing we also offer with Lutron is we concentrated on lighting control solutions for this particular presentation. But at Lutron, we offer Ketra lights, which is part of our family right now, which offers dynamic fixtures that can change color to natural. So we don't necessarily refer to it as circadian lighting, but what we offer is the ability from a control perspective, for the lights to dim or to achieve what the fixture manufacturer does, right, per se. And when it comes to, for example, Lutron's offering of Ketra systems, we have the ability to mimic natural light. So we don't necessarily have a stance on circadian lighting.
Okay, all right. Great. Okay, another question, please. I had a client that bought an Aladdin lift for a very large crystal chandelier. Can Lutron control a chandelier lift?
It would depend on the lift.
Okay.
It would depend on the lift, because they want to control the lift itself, right?
I would imagine, yes. Control up and down.
Yeah, so to have a button for that lift. Yes, I mean, yes, we could be able to tie it in. We would need to know the specs of the lift, but
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and that would be a question for you, if we could, if the designer could forward those specs to you and you would help
Yes,
with that, you would assist with
absolutely.
that. Okay, super. Thank you for that. Some other questions that have come in prior to this presentation, if I may. How long do the batteries last on the battery operated shades? Okay.
Good question. So Lutron's battery operated shades, our battery operated shades, by the way, can come up to 12 feet wide by 12 feet high. And we offer them, depends on the size of the window, but with an average of 2 ups and 2 downs a day, you are looking for anywhere from 3 to 5 year battery life. So very long life. Yeah, we use B cell batteries. If it's a small window, it may use 6 to 8 D cell batteries. If it's a large window, it may have 2 sets of 8 D cell batteries. And when it's idle, it doesn't use that much power, so it's able to extend its life.
Wow, okay, longer than I thought. Another question, do I need internet to control your wireless systems?
No, you do not need internet to control. So we have our own proprietary wireless network, which I mentioned is Clear Connect. And Clear Connect gives you the ability to control your lights, your shade, and your home. So if you were to have your phone to control, to use your phone to control your lights and shades, and let's say you're away from your home, you do need to, get in through the router to get into your home network. So if your home network is down, then you may not be able to control your lights or shades. But if you're in your home, you don't need internet.
Okay. Great. Are there custom color options for dimmers and switches other than the ones
So for our keypads and dimmers, we do offer our faceplates in different color options. Typically, we have Sherwin-Williams in-house, but we can match like Benjamin Moore or any other paint company that you want to match it with. There is a process to go through that, and I'm happy to walk anyone through that process.
Interesting. Okay. And there's a minimum on that, I guess, a minimum quantity if they wanted a custom?
You can do just one. I will tell you, it'll be worth it if there's more on it, because it's just the cost, to start up the process.
Okay.
But you can do it as just one.
Oh, all right. Interesting to know. Sorry, another question going back to shades. What is your warranty on the shades?
Okay, our shades are warranted for 8 years, and we have a full warranty up to 5 years. So 100% warranty from the time you purchase it and it's installed until the 5th year. And then we have partial warranty from the 5th year to the 8th year.
And is that on the motor and the fabric, or just one or the other?
There are different, it's on the motor, it's on the entire window treatment. The fabric covers different warranty. So it's each fabric has different options.
Okay, depending on the material. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, good. Another question, can I buy cassetta system on my own, or do I need a dealer?
So with our systems, with Lutron systems, we talked about all the 4 of them. With Caseta, you can actually buy them on your own. If it's a simple installation you want to do, just 1 or 2 dimmers, you want your electrician to swap or have a lamp dimmer, you can easily buy them from Amazon, Best Buy, Home Depot, Lowe's, and so forth. However, for the other systems, for Radio Raw2, for Raw2 Select, for HomeWorks, we sell those through authorized dealers. These are Lutron authorized installers that go through training process and continued training as well. They're certified, they know how to program our products, including shades as well. So we have Lutron certified shade installers, and then we also have Lutron certified palladium shade installers, which can be a little more tricky with the installation with an exposed treatment. But yeah, for most of the categories other than Caseta, you would need an authorized dealer. Now we have authorized dealers throughout the nation and pretty much throughout the world through the different markets that we sell our products in. But if you have a project you're working on and you want to involve a dealer, or you want us to recommend someone, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to connect you with one of our reputable dealers. We do have a good relationship and constant contact with most of the dealers in the New York, New Jersey area. So we're able to help you to ensure that you're paired up with someone that we know can do a great job on your project.
Okay, good. And you did mention a showroom. Is it in New York City, and where?
Yes.
If and when we're allowed to go.
Yes.
Where would be?
Of course. I hope we will be allowed to go, and I hope I can invite you all for a tour. So our showroom is actually in the D&D building on 59th Street and 3rd Avenue in the city. We have been in the D&D building, I'd say 12 plus years now. I managed the center from about 2014 to about mid of 2017. So we have a brand new showroom, a gorgeous showroom on the 3rd floor of the D&D building, where we showcase every system that I talked to you about, including our wonderful Petra lighting fixture solutions. So we typically set up a tour for a visit. With what is going on with COVID, when we do open up initially, we will be by appointment. Feel free to reach out to me. I will ensure that I give you a one-on-one tour. It's a really great place to visit. And if things do get delayed, I hope that I can give you the ability to possibly get a wonderful virtual tour, if that would be awesome for the time being.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that sounds like a great idea considering, right, the circumstances. I think that's great.
Definitely.
Even
Yeah.
better for a virtual tour, saves us a trip.
Yes.
Make
Yes.
it
It's
easy.
gonna be hard. I think we're all gonna be working from home for a very long time.
I think this whole virtual thing is starting to stick, right?
Yes, it is. It is, Sandy.
Good, good. Okay, so I don't see any more questions posted on the board, so I have a feeling this means that we can wrap this up, but if you could please let everybody know the best place to reach you, your email or phone or however.
Yes, I would love to in the chat box. I am writing my email address, which is kachkar@lutron.com, and my cell phone. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to contact me. I'm a non-commissioned Lutron salesperson. I'm here to assist on projects, give you, consult on the different systems that works, as well as, walk you step by step on your smart home system selections.
Okay, great. And hopefully I just reposted that, just make sure everyone can get it, all the attendees can get it as well. So thank you so much. Thank you for educating us on
Thank you.
products, and thank goodness for you, like I said, because we need you to guide us through all of this great technology. So yeah, so thank you. And just to let everyone know, if you'd like to revisit this this webinar, we will be posting it on our YouTube channel, as well as our other webinars that we've been holding. So again, thank you so much.
Thank you, Sandy. I sincerely appreciate it. This has been a lot of fun. And
Good. I'm happy
forward
to
to
hear
hearing from anyone that may have questions. I'm here to help.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for being with us today. And thanks to everybody who tuned in. Please join us again this coming Thursday at 4. We're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be hosting Cara Maximo, talking about wellness, awareness, and mental management. So thank you, everybody, and have a great day. Take care.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.